Dear friend, walking into my freshman year of high school, I did not know who I was. I wore the wrong clothes, said the wrong words, and liked the wrong things. But like everyone else, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to belong. I loved to read. I didn't have to worry about lonely reality when I had a magical world to escape to in my hand. I randomly picked up The Perks of Being a Wallflower along the way, my freshman year. I read it for a banned book assignment in English. I just picked a random book, not knowing how immensely this book would change my life. When I first read this book, I was in this dark hole of self-hate. I walked around looking like death had a stormy cloud looming over my head at all times. I did not know how to smile. Of course, home life was a factor to my depression, but isn't that always the case with anyone? When I read Charlie's thoughts, I felt like we were friends. He was telling me his life through his letters, and I was telling him my life and my thoughts. In reality, I had no friends, but in this fictional book, I had found my best friend. I remember reading a part of the book where Charlie was reciting a poem to his friends. It was rumored to be an anonymous suicide note. It struck every one of his friends, including me. I remember crying the hardest I've ever cried, feeling like I knew exactly how the person who wrote the poem felt. I was lost, but I didn't want to become another suicide note to be recited. We're all Charlies, aimlessly walking around trying to find a place in this world. The book taught me not to look at the world as such a dark place. I realized I was not alone. I have reread this book countless times since my freshman year of high school, and each time I learned something new about myself and life. It's that special kind of book that will always be relevant in your life, even when you're middle-aged with a teenage brat of your own. The lessons in this book about love, friendship, and self are never ending. It's that lifelong friend that will never leave your side and always have something to say. Now as a freshman again, I feel different than the first time I read Perks, but I'm still learning from it. I remember a line, "We accept the love we think we deserve," and think of my past and current relationships. I feel that I have not been thinking I deserve much. I know now that I do deserve more than what I've been accepting. I deserve great friendships. This book taught me the hard lessons, was there for me to escape to into another world, and is always open for me. This book is written from Charlie's perspective. He's just starting out his freshman year with no friends, wanting to belong to something. Sound familiar? The story is told through a series of letters Charlie writes explaining the events of his freshman year. He starts off each letter with "Dear friend," same as I'm doing with you. Charlie and I are not writing for a specific person, just a friend, someone who listens. So friend, I want you to know that this book changed everything. It's crazy how something so small like a book can change your life sometimes. The book takes you on a trip of high school, drugs, alcohol, friends, sexuality, love, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Do not worry, I'm not going to sit here and give you a detailed synopsis of the book. I would much rather you read it on your own. But you should know that Charlie finds friends in the end. He turns the pain of his past into a bright future, and he finally belongs. He feels infinite. Here's another line from the book, my newest lesson. So this is my life, and I want you to know that I am both happy and sad, and still trying to figure out how that could be. I have this quote tattooed on my back. I learned that it's okay to feel jumbled up, and throughout my life, whenever I feel jumbled up, I can just pick up Perks and have a friend to be there for me. The images I've included are of my real friend. Just like the book, I picked him up along the way in high school, and he's been there for me since. Mimicking how I've changed and grown these past 4 years, his facial expressions journey through depression to happiness. Before Perks and Mario, I had nothing. Now I can always say I have at least 2 real friends in my life. Love always, Anuja.